Nothing on earth that'll get me humming like a heat wave coming. I'll come running with you, making that 10 in the broad daylight. And every night is a Saturday night, and everything's right with the summer coming. I'm the first one standing in line for my day in the sun. I've been working till the sun don't shine. I'm taking off my hat.
We've got a foot up. Some people find this a little bit more comfortable because they're not completely crushing down into that hip capsule, so it allows them to take a little bit more ownership and move out of that tonic pain reflex. Because the lower you go, the more stretch you get, but if you stand up tall, you're not in excruciating pain. The majority of you should not be. So our dynamic protocol, 4 to 6 seconds, 4 to 6 rounds of the same leg, and then we're gonna go ahead and switch that over. So play around with it, manipulate it. You can change your knee angle, change your hip angle. Now, more importantly than anything is when you're addressing flexibility and mobility, be very conscious of a right to left asymmetrical flexibility level. So if you've got one side that's a little bit more flexible than the other, concentrate on the bad side. Most injuries are going to be caused not by inflexibilities from right and left sides together, but if one is significantly tighter than the other, will throw off an unbelievable chain of reaction of events that could cause an injury somewhere else. So really address the unflexible side. For 90 seconds, we're gonna work on pelvic tilts. One of the main stabilizers of your lumbar spine, more importantly than driving it up, is the control of your descent. So let's work on this, guys. Now, if lifting that up negatively affects the rest of your spine, we're doing it wrong. So I've got some of you guys that are getting tired and your heads are starting to pop up. You have to stop doing that immediately. So let's get the entire spine flat to the ground. We've got 7 more seconds, and gently separate your pelvis from your low back. Gently, gently, gently. Here we go, dead bugs. Now we're gonna go ahead and turn this into a little bit longer line. Get your feet on the other side. We are already on. Right hand should be down, reaching to the center of the ring, and we're gonna alternate this hamstring stretch. Alright, very first thing, we want to set up in this y-axis, hold this line. Your goal is not to fight me by leaning over, your goal is to maintain that y-axis, and then we're going to pull and rotate. From this pulling across of the lead leg, it should give you an unbelievable stretch right through that back quad, back hip flexor line, as well as up above the hip, into that linea alba, into that oblique. And pull, stay there. There we go, the same exact leg, we're going to pull from the other side. Tall, pretty posture. The center of a clock, and we're going to hold. Now pull, rotate away, keep rotating to your left, right, keep rotating to your right, keep rotating to your right, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, and relax. Very good. Be on the ground. Fantastic job. Good. Don't move. Now from this position, rotate to your left. Whenever we're going across the empty leg, the lag leg, it puts all that stress above the hip joint on the opposite side. So keep pulling, pull left, pull left, pull left, pull left. Recover, and we're going to do the same leg. We're going to switch it over to the other side. Posture, and smooth. From here, hold, rotate away, rotate to your right. Holding across the lead leg forces a stretch right through that back quad, back hip flexor. Keep pulling, rotate, 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 rotate it, rotate it, rotate it. Very good. And recover. Beautiful job. The main emphasis of this is not just to get these up, not just to separate your low back from your pelvis, but it's actually to control it on the way down. That's where most people fail on this one, is they try to kick up so violently and then they just collapse. The biggest benefit that you can get from this exercise is to learn how to decelerate this, thus giving yourself the ability to protect yourself from an excessive amount of shear that goes right through that spine. Very good. Big deep breaths. Try to keep your belly button sucked in as you lift that up. So your belly button should not rise up. It should not rise up. Exact procedure. The only difference is we are on your pelvic girdle y-axis, so we're going to put you in that y-axis lunge position. Now the same exact thing, the lateral flexion, whether we do it out of the z-axis step up, the y-axis lunge, or the x-axis squat position, if we move slow enough, we're developing your ability to recover a tall, pretty posture. So keep that in mind as you're working down and stretching. We're trying to work on the musculature that returns you back to a neutral position, a better spinal alignment. So from this position, we're in our frontal plane. We are not going to move. So the hips are in your sagittal plane, but the lateral flexion is in your frontal plane. We're working on your ability to keep your spine from excessively drifting to the right and the left. So as you get into a full range of motion and a good stretch from there, we recover back over, thus giving yourself the ability in the musculature and the neuromuscular patterning to recover back to a straight, stable spine. Weight off of that sucker, and we want to draw a big, perfect angle. Now, the goal is start in a good spine, big circle, and then end in a good spine. So you still want to work on the patterning of recovering that. Now from here, just off of a true lateral flexion, we want to structurally integrate it. Now keep in mind, you can still integrate into the same exact movement in terms of the pelvic girdle. We're just going to add rotation. So now we make this a little bit more multi-planar and not just holding a lunge position and lateral flexion, but we're going to try to draw that with your torso, Greg. So moving that in that big circle, we're not going to rely on the strength of your arms, but we're actually going to move the torso in a big circle. If you can remember, we're going to try to move in clockwise and counterclockwise positionings. If you can't, then it's really not that big of a deal if you move slow enough. Smooth, very good. Nice job, Steph. Now the goal is to not move your hips. Draw that big, pretty halo without moving your hips. So that spine moves all over the place. Now, you have to be able to recover that. You can't just collapse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. 6. And lock stable. Now, pinch your shoulder blades together. Don't move, don't move. Very good. Now, pull me, rotate me to the left. Go left, go left, go left, go left. Atta baby. And recover, very good. Going right through here. From a flexed hip position, it really forces everything above that linear elbow line. Hold that pull. You gotta pull, brother. There it is. Rotate to your right, rotate to your right, rotate, 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 and rotate. That's a fantastic job. Tall, pretty posture. Right here. This guy right here. Pull, pull, pull. Pull, pull, keep pulling, rotate left, rotate left, rotate left, rotate left, break that posture, very good, cover, cross this lead leg, hold this line, hold, rotate to your right, keep those knees, keep those hips in the neutral position, now rotate, I'm only going to pull hard enough that you're pulling against me, so keep going, pull, 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 pull,